I'm with Daoud Nasser from the Tent of Nations just out of Bethlehem. Daoud, what is the Tent of Nations?
The Tent of Nations is a project that seeks to bring people from different nations and cultures and religions to build bridges of understanding, of reconciliation and peace.
Now you're here on a great big farm. How long have you owned the farm here?
Yeah, we own this land since 1916, when my grandfather bought this land in that year, and he came and established a new existence in a cave. It's like in a biblical time. And they started to plant trees, to cultivate more land, and from the land the family could live. And this was for generations during the Ottoman period, the English Mandate period, the Jordanians, and even after 1967 with the Israeli occupation. We are still here, and we are hoping to continue to keep this land for the new generations.
Now, I understand the Israeli government are actually challenging your rights to the land here. So what exactly is happening there?
In 1991, they declared it as a state land, and so the legal process started. We went to the court and we presented the papers that we have, the papers from the Ottoman, English, and Jordanian and Israeli period. And then they demanded from us news survey, eyewitnesses, all this stuff. And then we had problems from the Israeli settlers who came and uprooted the trees and damaged our water tank. They tried to open roads through the property in order to establish a settlement. We stopped all that by court. And the last time the settlers came and uprooted 250 olive trees. And it was a very difficult situation for us. But I got an email from a Jewish organization in England called European Jews for Just Peace in Palestine. And they sponsored 250 olive trees to be planted here. And they came and they did it. They planted them. And it was for me like a sign of solidarity. So even this long process, and we had to go through a lot of difficulties, and we are still going through it, but we have to keep hope alive.
Would it be easy for the Israeli government to actually just come and take your land?
Everything is possible, but we thought we don't want to be like in this circle. We don't want to think in a negative way, because we believe that there is a future, and the future should be shaped with our own hands. And that's why, the idea of the Tent of Nations is to move out of this circle of violence, and instead of act, and being positive. Because we believe that we have, as people here, we can shape the future. We can change the situation in a positive way. And this is actually the idea of the Tent of Nations: is to bring people together and to connect people with their land too. This is two major issues: bringing people together and also connecting people with their own land.
Now, you're a Palestinian farm, and all around you are Israeli settlers. How easy is it to actually get to the farm in the first place?
Yeah, now as we experience this today, the road is blocked to the farm, so we had to stop the car about 500 meters away from the farm and walk. Of course, there are a lot of obstacles facing us, a lot of difficulties. We have here no electricity, we have no running water. We have nothing actually to develop. We are not allowed to build anything here. And the issue what we have here is actually too old, But we thought we need to focus on our vision, on establishing the Tent of Nations here in order to invite people and use the place as a meeting place, as a place for encounter, bringing people together, meeting face to face, and overcoming the prejudices and the enemy pictures.
Now, the settlers that live around the area, what legal rights do they have to the land roundabout?
This is a problem. Religion is in the Middle East and in our country is misused by Jews, by Christians, and by Muslims. And mixing religion with politics is dangerous. And some people, they come and say, we have the divine rights for the land, and God promised us this land, and so on. And for me, as a Palestinian, and especially as Christian, we have to distinguish between all of that. We have to read the Bible in its context and text, and we have to understand what is really all about. And for us as Christians also, we are believing in the new covenant, you know, and that's why we believe, you know, we cannot say who has the right for the land. Everybody has the right. We can share the land and we can live in peace, but the issue, we need to build up trust. We need to bring people together in order to overcome all these difficulties and share the land.
Now you bring people, youth mainly from around the world, for reconciliation. How important is reconciliation?
The issue, you know, it's also about human rights and justice. Bringing people together is, you know, it's like building a bridge. When people come together face to face, they can start to understand what other people think, and to listen. And of course, you know, trying to understand, to listen, and to see the other side as a person, this will change the situation. And this is the way, I mean, this is the way for having the reconciliation, and then the next step is peace.
So what do you do actually to bring people together?
Here we started the Tent of Nations in order to say we don't want to resignate, we don't want to react in a violent way, and we don't want to immigrate. So our message to the people is we refuse to be enemies. So we offer this place as a meeting place. Sometimes we organize activities, sometimes people are coming and using this place. And we started doing some kinds of activities like a tree planting campaign. We try to plant between January and March every year about 1,000 to 3,000 trees. It depends on the rain and the situation. And we bring people, Palestinians, Israelis, from peace activists, internationals, to come together and plant a tree for the future. Planting a tree is a sign that there is still hope for this country. And also we learn that peace should grow as an olive tree. Peace should grow from the grassroots. Cannot be dictated from up to down, you know. It should grow from the grassroots. And this is actually what we are trying to do, you know, learning by doing, coming together, working together, and learning how to achieve peace step by step. One issue, this is one program. The second program, we have the summer camps, and we are working with Palestinian kids, both Christians and Muslims, and we invite them here to be outside their houses, their cities, in the nature, to spend some time in the nature, to be calm, to be active, to be also, you know, creative. And so we try to do with them different kinds of projects like mosaic. What you see here is mosaic done by kids through our summer camps. And we do painting on stones, painting on rocks, sport activities, music, and these kinds of activities encourage the young people. And the issue is we want to motivate them that they can do something, and focus on peace building in action. And this will help them to build their own future in a positive way.
Now, because your land is Area C, it means Palestinians and Israelis can actually come together here. How easy is it to bring Palestinians and Israelis together?
I mean, we are not doing it between young people. We are focusing on Palestinian children, both Christians and Muslims. But we do have also some, Israeli peace activists, adults, with Palestinians coming and meeting here, which is actually, this is, we see this is also could be a way for a better future.
So what do you see as the main stumbling block between the Palestinian-Israeli conflict?
The issue is we have, the core issue is justice. So we need to achieve justice here in order to live together in peace. Because without justice, there is no peace. You know? And that's why it's very important for the Israelis to understand what is happening here. And also to understand that it's not about like Arabs hating Jews or Jews hating Arabs. No, it's about human rights. And we need the people to focus on the positive sides, to say, what can we do now? I mean, if I'm blocked with the history, with what happened yesterday, I won't go forward for the future. So we suffered a lot. The Israelis also, they went through a lot of sufferings. But the issue, we have to learn from our history and say what can be done now. So that's why we need strong people to believe that we need together to move out of this circle. It's a fact that we are living here, both Israelis and Palestinians, and we have to focus on that. What can be done in order to have stability and peace here from both sides? Because we have to share the land. There is no other way.
So do Palestinians feel like second-class citizens here in the land?
I mean, we are not actually citizens. We are living under occupation, and this is the core problem as Palestinians.
So what do you think is the root of hatred and violence here?
The problem is when you live in a very difficult situations. I mean, maybe an Israeli can talk about the situation in Israel, but let me talk about our situation. Like when the children, they have no future perspectives, nothing, no future, no work. Unemployment rate is very high. Around 60% of the Palestinian population are young people doing nothing. They have nothing to focus on. Of course, this will bring hatred among people. What can we do? What can you expect the people to how to react? That's why, in order to overcome all of that, we need to give the people a future perspective, to believe that there is a future. And if I believe that there is a future, I will start working in a good way in order to achieve it. But the problem is when you live in this situation and you have nothing. This will give the people the opportunity to lose their hope for a better future.
I guess it's a lot easier as well for the terrorist organizations to recruit the young people when they're just discouraged.
I think the issue is when the people they live in a miserable situation. There is you cannot predict how they will react. That's why we try in a small, let us say in a small step, is to let the children focus on other stuff. To show them that they have capabilities, they have possibilities that they can change. And when we focus on the positive sides of the story, we don't want them to feel they are the victims. We want them to feel that they are people who can do something, And even if it's small steps, if we focus on that, we can create a new generation who can, carry the responsibility. And
how easy is it to teach values of understanding and tolerance with the history, with the past, what people remember, what they've been through and struggling with?
I think when we recognize that people had to go through difficulties, any kinds of people like Palestinians, Israelis, Europeans, anybody, then we realize that we went through suffering, but we should not stay there and keep ourselves in that circle and be the victims. The issue how to overcome that and move forward. If I talk about my history and all the past tense, the days, the sufferings and all this stuff, I will never move forward. So that's why I have to learn from my history and to do the best to overcome all this hatred and bring people together.
Now, does your Christian faith play a major part in what you do here?
Of course, of course we believe. I mean, the issue, you have to believe in something, and without faith, you cannot overcome all these troubles and problems, sufferings, hatred. So, our message is we refuse to be enemies. Is actually a Christian message. So we don't want to put ourselves in this circle of violence, and we try to teach here by doing. We try to be a picture for others. We don't want to come and give lectures for people. No, we want the people to come to feel what's happening here, and then go back home motivated and try to do their best in their societies within their capacities.
How far can you trace your Christian family heritage back?
I mean, when I studied in Europe, they asked me, how did you become a Christian? And I said, the only thing we exported from this country is Christianity. So we are Christians here from the beginning. We are the first followers of Jesus Christ, and that's why the Christian people and the Christian Palestinians are living in this country since the beginning.
So is it important for Christians around the world to support the Palestinian Christians here?
I mean, not. We can say. I don't want to say that only the Palestinian Christians. We need the people to support things that bring peace and reconciliation. Of course, when anything can be done in this way is appreciated, because we need the people not to look at us from outside and say we cannot do anything. No, you can do something within your capacities, and anything can be done in this way is very appreciated. The issue is many people in Europe and in America, they don't know that there are Palestinian Christians here. So our message is, no, you have also brothers and sisters here who have dreams and visions, who want to bring peace here, but they need your support.
And finally, what's your prayer for the Palestinians and Israelis that live here in the land?
Of course, our prayer is for peace with justice. Our prayer for the Palestinians as well as the Israelis is that God will open their hearts, their eyes, to see what is really happening here, and to bring people together, because connecting people together is the only way to achieve peace with reconciliation.
And finally, you have a website for those people who'd like to know more about your ministry?
Yes, we have a website. It is tentofnations.org, and you can learn about our programs and activities here. Also, we are asking for volunteers to come and help in the different work and projects we have here.
Okay, David. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.